Questions for Jared?
Jared, is there something to how hard you guys actually had to work to get this win about the character and maybe what can do for the group here?
Yeah, you know, like before the game we talked, we loved their second half against Boston. And especially the last 6-7 minutes of the second, the third period. And, you know, it's hard to do, but our goal was to try and come out and play that way, to that identity, because for the guys that hadn't been here, like that is the identity of our team. Like, so try and sustain it for as long and as hard as we possibly can. And it did not come easy. I thought their team blocked a lot of shots. They got shooting lanes. They kind of pack it in front of the net a little bit. And their goalie made some huge saves, right? And so we had to work for it. Even at the end, you know, you finally take the lead, and the guys are laying out desperation, great commitment to try and keep the puck out of our net, and they get another one to tie it. But kept playing, had a good overtime, had some good chances. So you got to be happy with not only the effort and the determination that they played with, but to be able to sustain it as long as they did, and to just stick with it regardless of the score. They you know, it's a great effort, you know, and sometimes you lose games like that, but it's I'm proud of them for sticking with it and getting that first one, and hopefully if we keep working like that, maybe some wins will come a little bit easier.
How much of a relief is this?
Sorry?
How much of a relief is this?
Well, here's the thing. It's like you don't want to drop too many, because it just, you know, we know how hard it's going to be to climb out of that hole. So it is a relief. More importantly, I think, than relief, it's looking past that. It's the guys getting rewarded finally for like playing the right way. Because the Boston game, we did a lot of good things. I think we deserved a better fate in 1 and 2. It's game 3 I didn't like, but you start looking at how many like really good periods you played and how many chances you have and what you're giving up, and to be 0-4 really stings, and 0-5 would be that much worse, especially when you're playing that hard and playing the right way as a group and staying positive. It gets tough to stay positive if you don't ever get results. So that'll go a long way, because it's stacked on top of 2 pretty good periods against Boston, and now 3 good ones again tonight. So you got to keep going.
Nick, go ahead. Go ahead, Nick.
Thanks. To further your first answer, is this a game that you'll come back and look on and point to, maybe if you get through a bit of a rough stretch again because of the way you guys battled the entire time? You overcome 2 goals that not necessarily anybody's fault at the start of that, and then you'll look back and say, man, what, you remember when we were in the doldrums and this came back? Is that something you'll draw on?
Yeah, I think what we try to do is keep pushing the bar on what we think is as good as we can play, right? And so Boston third period was the best we played the whole year. And then when we break it down and show it to them and teach it exactly why we think it was so good and what sort of fuels that in our team, so everyone gets clear on it, so they're not guessing at all. It's not just we had a good period. Like, you got to break it down, show them, and explain what we think is really important. You take some input, everyone kind of has a conversation, and then you go and try to repeat it tonight. You know, there may be little different things that you want to do against Anaheim from Boston, but that was work-based, competitive, relentless hockey. And when you're doing that, then you're going to have your fair share of success. So, you know, now tonight we sustained it much longer than we did against Boston, so that becomes the new bar, and they'll see it again, and then we'll try and like better that performance, and you just kind of keep going and trying to push that bar higher and higher.
What was the explanation on the second goal from the officials? And at that point, what was sort of going through your mind was those are the 2 goals that make it 2-0?
Well, I was mad, and not necessarily at the official originally. I was mad that we quit playing, because we have the puck full control. There's 1 guy in the zone. We've got 3 or 4 in the zone. The whistle doesn't go. You got to keep playing. You can't just throw it back to him and then give up a goal late in the period. Like, that was not a good play, okay? But in G's defense, puck's out of play, and the ref is like, going to blow the whistle, he's pointing, he's gonna blow the whistle, he's pointing. Like, if he didn't see it go out, which that's fine, then you can just yell like play or like no, and like just, then the guys know. But when you're starting to go like this and it's kind of, it's deceiving. I think G thinks he's gonna blow it once and doesn't, and thinks he's gonna blow it again. So it was, the official knew he made a mistake. He apologized for the indecision. He didn't want to guess, and you can't guess. If you don't see it go out, you can't just blow it and assume it went out, right? But for us, we got to keep playing. We knew it went out. We have video that went out, but as soon as the puck crosses the blue line and goes in the neutral zone, it's not a challengeable call. If it stayed in the zone, they put it in the net, we challenge it, and it's no good. That wasn't the case, so we go from there. And you got to. It's a good lesson, that you gotta play every play like it's the most important play of the game. That's what we guys tried to do tonight, and probably besides that one, we played hard, as hard as we could.
Jared, last year whenever we asked you about shifting Colton to the wing, you referenced lack of center depth.
Yeah.
I guess two-parter. Number one, what does Casey Middlestead do for that center depth? And number two, what makes Colton so good on the wing, especially with like what you did in Tampa with skilled guys like McKinnon and Mikko?
Yeah, when you add Casey in there, right, and then Kelly in there, and we're rolling three lines a lot. We're getting the fourth line involved a little bit, and bouncing some guys around just to get them some minutes and take some minutes and keep contributing as a team of 12. Obviously, the heat's turned up on us right now, so weren't using our fourth line as much as we would, because it's desperation. We got to win. But when you start adding players in the middle of the ice, like part of Colton's game, which makes him really good, is as a winger, is he likes to skate and move and keep a little momentum, and then he's a terrific forechecker, physical. Like, he can get on the hunt more. When you play goal line to goal line, so if you have to go back and help our D all the time and you're stopped down there in the battles, it's the wingers that are taking off and doing that skating, right? And you got to work to try and keep up with them, and then you're often F3 in the offensive zone. Well, Colt's part of his strength is being F1 or F2 and hunting the puck down and checking it back, right? He has the hands and shot, playing with some playmakers. He's obviously a guy that likes to shoot it and likes to go to the net hard. He has some of those characteristics like I talked about the other day of Landy, Lecky, Val, the guys that have had success with Mac and Mikko, because he goes to the paint when they get the puck and they protect it and they're skating and making plays in the offensive zone. So there's a lot of things that he does that complement Mac and Mikko. It's just tougher to do some of the things that he does best when you're playing center. He's still, he's grown as a centerman too. But we just, if you don't have enough guys that can play down the middle, you still want all your top players playing together. So that may mean he moves to the back to center at some point too when we get a bunch of wingers back.
Coach, we talked about the second goal. First one that goes in, there was a lot of guys on the ice who seemed that thought that maybe just slow whistle. Was this maybe the first time you saw the group channel that frustration in the right way? It seemed like coming out of that second goal, there was a little extra step in there.
The first goal, are you talking about?
First goal against, yeah.
Yeah, so, here's the thing. He shoots it, he saves it, it's under his pad. He waits, he freezes, waiting for a whistle, because I think he thinks it's under his pad. And to me, blow it. When he doesn't hear the whistle, he gets up and it pops free, and now it's behind him, and then we can't put our hands on it, we can't do anything. So like you saw the replay, Manson's holding it against Gorgie's pad, but until it's covered, no whistle's gonna go. Flip side, if you look at the second period, we have a low attack, hits their goalie's pad, it's sitting on his pad, then it's underneath midi, and as soon as they lose sight of it, it's like, tweet, whistle's gone. It's loose in front of the net when we're jamming away. So if you lose sight of the puck and that's your rule and you don't know where it is, and blow it. You can't convince me that puck was not covered, because it was for at least a 1-2 count. So like those things, when you're losing, some of those things go against you. I'm not blaming the officials on them, but I think there, lots of nights that just is a big save, and it's done. So it was a little unlucky for us, unlucky for Gorgie, but I'm proud of him the way he worked through that. It wasn't a busy night, but he made big saves when he needed to, and he got us a win. That's the most important thing at this point.
Your last ones, guys, go ahead.
Did you get an explanation for that goal as well, and if so?
No, I didn't. I mean, I did. I got the explanation that it was always loose, but I know it wasn't.
Cale was tough on himself earlier in the week, one of the games, but
Yeah.
and you liked him last game, but tonight it looked like a vintage.
It was fantastic again. I loved his game the other night too. Yeah, like I try not to get hard on our big guys, like in private sometimes, and also in like to the media, even if they're not that good, because there's a lot of pressure on those guys, and most nights they're really good, right? And we're asking them to do a lot, and they know it, and they have to score and they have to produce, because some of the guys we have out of the lineup, but then we're asking them to check like it's the end of the world too, which is, I think it's a reasonable request. So usually when I don't like our top guys, it's not because they're not producing, it's because they're not checking as good as I know they can check, right? And so you get a night from Cale where he was unhappy with his game, and you know, fair, he wasn't good, but he takes it to heart because he wants to be the best in the world, and he's -3 on that night, and you know, we talked briefly, and you just got to bounce back. You know, you got to put more importance on the checking game, and he's an elite checker when he's going like that, and he has been for the last two days. And when he's playing assertive like that, taking the puck from people, then he's also turning it. It doesn't just end there like it does for a lot of guys. He's turning it to offense, and he's involved and assertive, and that's what he's been. I mean, I thought the last 2 games from him have been fantastic.
Any
Thanks.
comments on
Last
the
one, go
big
ahead.
hat?
On what?
Big hat?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I love it. I think it's going to be great. I didn't see anyone put it on tonight, but I saw it beforehand. I think it's fantastic.
Last couple of games here playing with, or today at least playing with Nathan Mackinnon, it's pretty impressive. So when he gets his boots moving and he's working, it's really cool to see what he does, and obviously he gets rewarded on 2 goals tonight. So he's playing really well, and he's got to hopefully continue it.
You guys having to battle through, pretty strong goaltending performance. Does that just add to a little bit of you guys stuck with the process and make it a little bit sweeter maybe?
Yeah, I mean, the hockey gods are going to reward us at some point. A couple unfortunate ones I was talking about, but it is what it is at the end of the day. A lot of persistence in this group tonight, and that's all you can ask for. Everybody was super committed, shift in, shift out. In between periods, everybody was talkative. We knew that this was a game to get that W. Unfortunately, I take a bad timing penalty at the end there and cost us in 6-on-5, but I still have faith in us finishing that OT. So, yeah.
What was the chatter on the bench or just in the room when it was 2-0? Just the
Probably the most positive we've been all year, to be completely honest with you. I felt like we came out of that first period knowing that they were dying down and we could kind of jump on them. And, for us, it was just working off each other. I think when, especially you got everybody talking on the team, guys talking on the bench, it elevates everybody's play, and not just the top guys. So it's pretty fun.
Cale, when you see the shots that heavily in your favor, how frustrating is it from the bench or on the ice to see that? How do you stay motivated?
Yeah, I mean, it's just everybody's still working hard. We're going to have games like that throughout the season where you're going to get goalied and you have to find a way. And it's obviously not ideal going down 2-0, but I really like the resilience in this group tonight, and everybody showed it and up and down the lineup, so it was pretty awesome to watch.
17 seconds before the time, before the end, the tying goal. What does it make in you? Is it not that the other team is more motivated?
No, I don't think so. I mean, we battled there for the last, whatever it was, 4 minutes on the penalty kill, and then they score with 12 seconds left on the 5-on-6. It is what it is. Unfortunate one's going to go in on the flank, and we got everybody down the crease helping out. And again, those ones are going to happen, but I think looking back at the bench, everybody's like, screw it, we're going still. So, yeah.
Last one's for Cale, please. Last one, 2 games ago.
Play my game, getting elevated to play with Mikko and Nate. They kind of make it easy for me out there. So, again, it's just play my game, try and play fast, check pucks back, and kind of get into the open areas. Because again, 2 of the best players in the league. They're kind of, if you get open, they're going to find you.
How much fun is it to play with them? I mean, they're pretty good.
Yeah, no, they're really good. Nothing against Woody and OC, but it's nice to play with those guys. But again, just that was a great team win from everyone. I thought we played 60 minutes. We played fast. Georgie was awesome between the pipes. Unlucky one there at the end, but great team effort tonight. I thought we dominated. We had a ton of shots, had a ton of chances, and just stuck with it.
Had to be pretty relieving to get that first one of the season.
Definitely, yeah. Just something to build on. Obviously the results weren't there the first couple games, but again, I know we kept harping on it, but there were some positives that we kind of kept taking from a bunch of those games, and again, just kind of putting it together tonight.
How frustrating is it with that many shots on goal and just them not going in?
To an extent, in the same breath, but again, we're getting the chances, and we're shooting the puck. We're getting, pucks low to high, Deer shooting it, and just checking pucks back. I thought, what led to a lot of those scoring chances was we were above the puck the whole game. We weren't really giving them anything, which obviously led to great offense.
Colts, what to say about the group to overcome again the adversity early on with a couple of goals that are whatever?
Yeah, again, just we stuck with it. Bedsy came in. I thought he had the right mindset. He kind of, just said, "Hey boys, we're playing the right way. Let's stick with it. We can't let up here." And I don't even know what happened on that second one. I think the puck hit the netting, and the ref was about to blow the whistle. He wasn't about to blow it. So again, we can't let up. But again, unfortunate plays. But give credit to leaders in this room who said, "Hey, let's stick with it. We're playing the right way. It's going to come."
And like you said, no offense to OC and Wood, but do you still have that energy with them on the bench, and that kind of helps you, even though you're not playing with them?
Yeah, 100%. And again, I think I had a couple shifts with them tonight. The lines are jumbled. There's mix and matches. I'll obviously, be back with them at some point during the season. So again, it's just building my chemistry with whoever I'm trying to play with, just play my game and build my confidence.
With jumbling of the lines, do you feel like that builds your versatility as a player?
Yeah, 100%. Played some center, played some wing, kind of going back and forth. I think I've talked to you guys about it before. There's games where each shift I'm rotating which position I'm playing. So I think it's just kind of trying to play on the defensive side, and when you're on the ice with some of those guys, just know who you're out there with. Kind of the roles might change. So again, try not to think too much about it. Just when I'm out there playing my game.
Thanks, Russ.